Hello, lovelies. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends where you are watching from at this moment of the day. We remain Global Message TV. Please, if this is your first time of watching, kindly hit on the red subscription button and also the bell notification sign. In so doing, whenever we make and upload a new video, you will be among the first people to get the notification. May the Almighty God continue to bring those who patronize you in whatever good business you do. Amen. Okay, my people, really is this worrisome situation in Imo State that I want us to discuss today. What is it all about? You know, a lot of people, a lot of countries and even states are seriously battling on this pandemic, this COVID-19, this coronavirus situation, fighting, making researches to see a way to curb it and to stop it and to prevent their people from being massively contaminated, or even to stop it in totality. But the case is different in Imo State. They're going about talking about probing and not probing. I don't mean that if somebody had done any fraud or committed any fraud, that person should not be probed. No, I don't mean that. But there is time for everything. Let this not be a diversion of attention at this critical moment. But I'm not gonna stop it there. I want us to talk a little on this issue between APC in Imo State and PDP in Imo State. I could remember that yes, when Emeka Ihedioha came in power, the Imolites persuaded the government and tell them that a lot of things were taken from them forcefully, illegally, so many of their properties, that they need recovery of those things. I think committee was set at that moment to look into those things, which they started, and they were on it until the Supreme Court removed Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha, and now put Senator Holt Uzodinma as the governor of Imo State. So those committees continue to work. As I was told, some of them, in fact, the case in the court, but now the governor Saden, that's Owole Rochas Okorocha, had gone to court to stop the probe. A lot of people have been saying that yes, this is because APC now is ruling, him going to stop it at the court. The ruling that the government, present government now being their party government, will work it out for him to have merit on that particular appeal in that court to stop it. So, and I could remember that when this government came to power, they really listed the number of tenors they were going to, probe. It was, I think, ranged from Ohakim tenor to Owole Rochas Okorocha and Emeka Ihedioha, Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha. These were the three tenors or administration they listed or shortlisted to be probed. But all of the sudden this time around, what everybody is shouting on social media, clamoring, asking why is why must, instead of starting from the beginning, they now start from the end. Now the third on the list becomes the first to probe, like the fourth in position in Imo State became the first in election. The fourth in election became the first as in position to rule. That is what people are like. What is going on? Why are things turning around? From tail to head, from head to tail. Why must tradition change in Imo State? So it did not end there. I have a kind of encounter from I think PDP people on what APC have really said concerning Meki Ihedioha and his administration with the 19.6 billion diversion. So they really reply them on this caption of Ihedioha, the arrowhead of opposition that must be destroyed. So this was the caption that they are now replying on. So on replying this, they said this: Ihedioha led a silent revolution on IMO development. Listen attentively so that you will be able to contribute on this to tell us if there are some facts here or all are facts, or if there are some misconception or some false hood in the particular thing. So we have this one. They said Ihedioha led silent revolution on IMO development, deserves accolades and not insults. This response to what the opposition, I mean the APC, said. These people now are replying. The APC said, Ihedioha, the arrowhead of opposition that must be destroyed. But these people are responding to them by saying Ihedioha led a silent revolution on IMO development, deserves accolades and not insults. Those fighting him will fail woefully. So this is their own, response by AC Aquarando. So let us see the detail of those their captioned response. So they started this way: at destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Let's take it again. At destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Job 5:22. You know all the troubles of Job, and finally he laughed last. That's what this man quoted and referred as the situation between the APC and PDP, between their government and the Ihedioha. Now let's continue. The rebuilt IMO administration of Emeka Ihedioha may have been cut short by the Supreme Court's injustice of January 14th, 2020, but one thing has been synonymous with the 7.5 months administration. That one thing is quality. The quality of projects started by the Ash rebuilding IMO government were the first in recent history in the state. The projects at Cut Cross Road, infrastructure, sports infrastructure, tourism, education, among others. The administration was also scored high in terms of forward-thinking policies that returned the state on the path of progress. From his inauguration on May 29, 2019, that is Emeka Ihedioha understood what was at stake. It was clear to him that the only way out was to work for Ndimo. The only way out was to work for Ndimo. Ihedioha began work and silently overhauled the foundation of the state through quality policy formulations and administrative framework. Remarkably, Ihedioha was the first governor to mark a 50 days in office commemoration. The event was not for pomp and pageantry, but was a day on which he signed the Treasury Single Account (TSA), a policy that saw to the closure of over 250 accounts operated by the states and consolidated them into a single account. This remarkable achievement was applauded all over Nigeria and even beyond, especially by Imo diaspora groups. This action by the governor also showed how serious he was with the due process mantra, which he instituted in the state. On Ihedioha's 100 days in office, Imolites saw a man who was ready to walk the talk. There was joy in the air as Imolites saw the flagging off over 14, that is, as at 100 days in office, flagging off for over 14 roads projects by their governor. These roads cut across the urban and rural areas of the state. Prominent among the roads were the very famous Naze Polinekede Ihiagwa Obinze Road, a road that has been neglected and abandoned for years. This very important road cut across two federal institutions and linked Aba Road with Port Harcourt Road. Other roads that were flagged off include Douglas Naze Junction Road, Okigwe Township Road, Olu Teaching Hospital Road, Oru/Oguta Road, Obo/Ogwongoroanya Road, Imsu/Chukwuma Nwoha Diktaiga Road, among other very important roads. Simultaneously, works were ongoing across the federal roads and the entry points in Owerri, Mbise Umuahia, Owerri Port Harcourt Road, Owerri Ekemele, that's Okigwe Road, and Owerri/Olu Road. In addition, the Ministry of Works activated the operation on pothole projects in the city, which saw to the repair of many internal roads within the capital city of Owerri. This project was also designed to capture the reasphalting of major link roads within Ikenebu, Alademma, New Owerri, World Bank, etc. In education, Ihedioha flagged off the construction of 4 technical colleges in the state, with 1 from each of the zone and 1 at the municipal. These colleges were designed to capture contemporary technical skills and vocational education. In the sports sector, there was a comprehensive renovation work ongoing at Dan Anyam Stadium Complex, covering both the Grasshopper Handball Stadium, the main stadium arena, and the training pitch. The seats, floodlights, tartan tracks, grass, and the general infrastructure were undergoing a comprehensive renovation. In tourism, everyone was aware of the renovation work at the Nekede Exclusive Garden that the zoo, Emeka Ihedioha, did it. The desire to restore the old glory of the zoo and to the place it and to place it in the appropriate place in the map as the only state-owned zoo in the southeast became very necessary. Within the government house premises, Ihedioha began renovation work immediately. The presidential lodge where the present governor is operating from today was sufficiently put in place by Emeka Ihedioha. Remarkably, there was 100% payment of workers' salaries as and when due. Immediately after the comprehensive pension verification, pensioners were effectively paid and on time. Local government areas were carrying out projects and the payment on local government workers were never delayed. Local government areas were carrying out projects and payment of local government workers were never delayed. Pardon me. In the area of power, IMO was reconnected to the national grid, with most parts of the state having lights for up to 18 hours a day. Public power was restored at the State Secretariat, House of Assembly Complex, Government House, amongst other parastatals and agencies. IMO was again open for global businesses or global business. Notable in this cadre was the approval by Afri-Exim Bank to establish a quality control facility in Imo State with a C of O presented to them by the governor. With counterpart funds paid, World Bank began the 9 billion naira erosion project at Uruala in addition to over 300-kilometer rural roads under ramp. Undoubtedly, Ihedioha led a silent revolution in the development of Imo State. I can make bold to say that Uzodinma couldn't have taken off if he had met Imo State on May 29, 2019. As a governor, Ihedioha assembled a blend of politicians and technocrats in politics to steer the ship of the state. The gentlemen and ladies who worked tirelessly for the state day and night saw the success of the rebuilt Imo administration. Ihedioha assembled a team of committed Imolites from the Transition Technical Committee stage, chaired by Dr. Enerst, a former deputy governor at the Central Bank of Nigeria, and co-chaired by Dr. Mrs. Kema Chikwe. Under Ihedioha, Imo became the least corrupt state in the federation as rated by the National Bureau of Statistics. The Business Day Award as the fastest growing economy in the country. First emerging technology state by the National Council of Communication Technology. Best performing state in ICT development, and the second runner-up in e-government implementation by the NCC. In the eyes of many, Ihedioha remains the people's governor. He remains the man they voted for, and not amount of propaganda can claim that record. Yeah, that's what most of them believe. Okay, let's continue. Uzodinma must be thankful to Ihedioha rather than continue to vilify him. He should eat a humble pie and appeal to the former governor for the magic he worked to keep the state stable, both economically and institutionally. Those plotting for the destruction of a man who gave his life for Imo development must think twice or face distractions. For those who claim to have the power of distraction, who are you to speak before the Lord? For the Lord has promised his people in Esther 8:6, for how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people? Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred? The battle of God and not of man. That means the battle is of God and not of man. Imo Bunkai. So that is this write-up. I saw it. I said, wow, I'm going to pass it across to actually seek for people's, reaction on this particular project achievements, listed. This achievement by Emeka listed. So if really all these were achieved, of course, most of us saw some of these roads during the construction. People were, videoing it live, sending to social media. So we were capturing them, using them also for, our videos then. So if all these achievements listed here are true, I don't know what's the essence of trying to, initiate fights or indictment on this issue of 19.6 billion, though the immediate past secretary of to the government has been able to come out and debunk that. That's Uche Onyagocha. He came out on social media and debunked the allegation of 19.6 billion. But that's not the issue. We're not saying nobody should probe anybody. Besides, during the time of Emeka, he was about probing, or they initiated probing Owele. But what we are saying is that what doing is what doing well. This, since when they started, when they came to power, they immolized the list of administrations to be probed, ranging from Hakim to Owele, from Owele to Emeka. I think the governor, as we are looking at him now, would have maintained his word and make his word his bond and his government by starting their probe from that of Hakim. So now coming to join to Owele Rocha Sokorocha, and now to Emeka. Or if they want to carry all of them at the same time, we should be hearing the news and information that all of them, they have started probe on all of them. We need justice in Imo State. We don't need all this, attention diversions. We want the government to concentrate and deliver, whatever that is expected of a governor to deliver. Let that governor deliver. Whatever they promised during their campaign, let them focus on that and deliver to the people. You know, you you can't at the end of the day telling people that you were on battling with propaganda, fighting the oppositions, writing on social medias, and at the end of the day, the people did not see anything. And one thing some of these governors, not only in Imo State, forgot is that the 8 years or the 4 years will still one day elapse. And when it lapses, they will still, in fact, be surprised. And what they think they watch that time, people will not see them that way. Because I know, like a lot of people, I had them saying on social media when they were responding to some of these things, they were like, what is saving Orochas Okorocha now is because the APC had taken, Imo State again. And that was why he joined with his son-in-law, the Hope Uzodinma and Dararume, to take back Imo State, because he knew if PDP had continued based on his case with the EFCC and the other things Imolites were looking for that time, he may have ended up where he never expected. So that was why he negotiated with Hope Uzodinma, and they used the federal might to take back Imo State from PDP. So, but even at that, we know that you can just cover up something for some times, but one day it will still unfold. So I read another comment where someone said that for Owole Richards Okorocha to had gone to the court to stop his probe, that must be in a kind of negotiation and dialogue with the present government in Imo State, and they will talk with the court, and the court will stop the probe, which is one of the reasons for them fighting to get back the state. But my question is still, at the end of the day, APC may not rule Imo State forever. Other people might still come to open those files. We need justice in the state. If you want to probe Mr. A, probe B and C, and be honest in whatever you are doing, because a day shall come when other people will still sit there and they will still use their own method as a precedent and also probe you, because whatever seed a man sow must he reap. So nobody says don't probe, but let's be sincere, let's be honest, let's just not antagonize, and to see it as individual fights. Beside, you all are colleague, you all are brothers and sisters, you all are from the same state. So what you all are fighting for is just power, which one day will still remain here while everybody goes. Chief of Staff left the other day. All he had acquired, all the power, all the position, all the wealth, none went to the mother earth with him. So that's what the life is all about. And that is what all of us should remember. When we remember it, we try to be truthful, honest, sincere, transparent, and accountable to the people. So may God bless all of you as you continue to watch and share and pray.